Okay, so I like that was a very bog standard episode. Okay, first of all, we I need to say this again, and I need to say it for all the people that are sitting in the back. I did not see this episode. We normally record it on Wednesdays. I was dead tired from work and passed out, and we're recording this on a Thursday, so this will be up on a Friday. Everyone watching this on Twitch obviously understands that, but normally most people don't see it on Twitch, you see it on YouTube. But as I woke up from my stupor and saw my Twitter feed lighting up, my Facebook friends lighting up about how if anyone didn't understand it before, now they can finally understand how Moon Knight is basically Marvel's version of Batman. My brother in Christ, have you ever actually saw Batman? Because I can't think in my days more as this show goes along, and this is straight out of comics from an article that I looked at before we recorded this that show exact scenes where Harrow is playing a character called Dr. Emmett, which they basically base this dude off of. You don't know who either of those characters are.
Nope.
If you think Batman and Moon Knight are the same character.
They could not be more different.
Would not. Literally could not. I don't think you've ever even looked at a DC Comics logo in your entire life. You just saw someone make a Facebook post and you went, "Bleh!" and threw it up on your Facebook and went, yeah, I'm going to sound like a cool person. No, they aren't. For everyone in the front row and the people sitting by the exit signs, shut the hell up that you think these two are the same two characters. What are you even on?
And if you can't figure that out by now, 4 episodes into the series, then media literacy is just dead.
Exactly. And especially when they're like, this is the episode that did it. I'm like, what Batman arcs are you reading or watching? Even the stupid lunacy horseshit when he was like the Batman of Zen-R or whatever, when he was wearing like a rainbow-colored uniform and running around with a spiked bat like a psychopath in Gotham, he still wasn't like this. What are you? And I know I said the Batman of whatever that name was wrong, but that arc is not made up. Go look it up. It's stupid. But let me know what stash you have, because I want some of it, because you're enjoying life on a different level than I am. To just stop. This media regurgitation horseshit of stuff you literally don't understand because you want to sound cool and literally not make any sense. Just stop it. It's dumb. Anyway, so we find out here that not only is the Ennead useless, but they've likely done the same. We're too busy to actually look into situations, so we're just going to punish anyone that does something incorrectly treatment to not just Khonshu, but other gods, because there was easily like 6 or 7 of them sitting in that vault there.
Yeah, in case you couldn't tell by our episode last week, the Enneads suck.
I don't like them. I don't like them at all. They're by far the worst written, depicted, and used thing in this entire series. And also, everyone else gets to stay in regular detention. Amit gets to go to super secret, you're going to sit in the principal's office, or the throat of Alexander the Great.
Which, by the way, that scene was... That scene was all sorts of gnarly.
Macedonian, I'm like, what the hell is he talking about Macedonian? What? And I'm like, huh? What? That whole latter half of that episode was just me going, what? Who? Huh? I just had onomatopoeia going off in the back of my head, like, what? Okay, there's a few minor details before we get through what is basically the ending of this. Very few times has a kiss that is meant to be cringeworthy been purposely portrayed as cringeworthy so well.
Yeah.
Those two.
You know what this is starting? You know what this is starting to turn into? The relationship between Layla and Mark/Steven is starting to become kind of a twisted version of I'm in love with Spider-Man, but Peter Parker can fuck off.
Yeah. Okay, Black Cat. What do you mean? He's just a regular. I always love that. Or like the whole the worst version of that is it's my favorite it's tied for my favorite Batman movie with Begins, but it's In Forever where oh man, now I can't think of her name.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
It's Nicole Kidman's character. It's slightly different, but she's a reporter that also does but she's like, oh no, I like Batman more until Batman comes on my balcony and kisses me. Now I'm seeing you and I feel like I'm in love with someone else.
It's Dr. Chase Meridian.
Chase Meridian, thank you. Okay. Yes, a lot of people forget that she was in a Batman film. Like a shocking amount of people. Yeah. The fact that Mark takes control of Justice Fist and punches the shit out of him.
And knocks him into the cave.
That was pretty good. I like that. That's pretty great.
I really do love Oscar Isaac getting to play alongside himself in most of the series.
It is, and especially later on where he literally gets to. And what was the? I completely forgot it. What was the name of those weird, the things that were dissecting them in the tomb? They said they were like the magicians of old.
Something like that. I forget the exact name.
It basically looked like they were readying them to get mummified because it was cutting their organs out. Like basically old school prepping them for death, like not crematory, getting ready them to be embalmed pretty much. All the proper burial preparations. But who got faked out 3 times that Layla was going to die?
Yep.
Like, what the fuck? Nope, got it. Oh, nope, now she's dead. Oh, nope, got it. Nope, now she's not dead. I'm like, how many times are you going to do this?
The only one that like genuinely got me was on the ledge when she was facing the one priest.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with you there. And yeah, excuse me. We finally get the explanation, I guess, of what happened with Layla's dad. Mark didn't kill him, but I guess he was there. And his partner got greedy, or at least that's the story we have at the current moment.
Partner, sure.
Partner. Yeah. And who the partner is, we don't know. We're going to guess that maybe Khonshu made him kill everyone, but then it's like, we found him, he was half dead, whatever. We need to find out who the partner is. Like, do you think it's going to be Harrow?
That's one possibility.
Because it's like, from what I understood, and no, I wouldn't be. He said he woke up realizing he wasn't there. It's like, it kind of sounds like when he was shot dead there, that's when Khonshu took him over. So I don't know if he just said my partner because it's not worth mentioning what the name was, or they're just not saying my partner because it's going to be someone important.
So it could either be Haro or I think it's the third personality that we haven't met yet.
Which that is what I'm wondering on, because like we'll basically cut to the chase. They had the talk. He got shot 3 times, drops after he got the Ushepti, I think it was called.
Yeah, I think that's right.
It's basically the statue that Amit is in. And you got to, after they went through what I told Mike was either like 12 Monkeys or One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest for a rough minute there. I was gonna be like, is this all of his multiple personalities just sitting in a room? But then if you start thinking about it, it's actually people that he's seen before. And then you see him have his meeting with Haro where he realizes what's going on. But then once he finally catches on, we're still 4 episodes deep. Haven't explained that damn glass yet. They even had him wearing Crocs with the damn glass in it in his. But you got to see the sarcophagus that was awfully rambunctious. That still seems to be locked away. And it was red and it was bouncy. So, my bet is that's Jake.
It has to be.
Yeah, and it's like, what is he going to be? You have the stoic, ready to kill at a moment's notice and not be kind about it, Mark Spector. You have the lovable goofball, Stephen Grant. Like, do we just have like Frank Castle with Jacob Lockley where he's not afraid to just murder someone?
In the comics, I know Lockley is supposed to be a cab driver, but it's very likely they could make the MCU version just Mark Spector, but more extreme.
Okay. That's what I'm waiting on. I'm like, you kind of have both bases covered. I'm just like, I'm not going to... I don't know. And it's like Lockley could be anything. Like you have a different accent with Stephen Grant, even though he has an incredibly American name. And then you've got Mark Spector who speaks like he's American. And then I'm just like, are we gonna have freaking Jacob Lockley come out and he speaks like a pikey? Like what's going on? I don't know. Or is he gonna be some strung out lunatic?
One thing I did think was kind of funny was in this like mindscape, Stephen Grant is like is an adventurer in some Indiana Jones ripoff.
And they purposely made it look terrible.
I love when movies and shows do that.
Yeah, and it was Tomb Buster. Normally it's like the made up porn title for like Tomb Raider is Womb Raider. But I just like how it's like we just changed one word and that's all it is. They like made a porn title of it, but for the bad knockoff film. Like, oh man. Oh gosh. I'm gonna see if I can find it. The Anchor Bay version of Kong versus Godzilla. Gosh dang it. I don't know if I could find it, but it's there is, am I really not going to be able to see a version of this? Anchor Bay, which is basically, for those that don't know, and if you don't, I don't blame you. It's basically just a company that makes knockoff versions of big monster movies for very cheap.
So kind of like Asylum.
Yeah, it's very, very much like Asylum. And maybe that's what I have wrong. Maybe it's made by Asylum and not Anchor Bay. Asylum. Yeah, there it is. It's not King Kong versus Godzilla. It's ape versus monster.
They weren't even trying with that.
The greatest of all time. Man, once we start doing more 0 stars and I can get a viable way to watch more of these with you guys, I wouldn't mind like doing a decent month of just like once a week we have one of those, because man, they got like people like Eric Roberts to be in these movies. I'm like, man, how bad is your bank account? Because
Oh
like,
God.
it's like Nicolas Cage did some stuff to get to pay through his debt, but you never saw him appear in an Asylum film. Anyway, back to this. And yeah, you got to see this really trippy like last sequence, which honestly I wish the show had more of.
Same, honestly.
Yeah, and you want to know what it weirdly kind of reminded me of when he was trying to get out? The very last scene in Joker.
Oh. Yeah, like the way he's like running but kind of tripping over himself.
Kind of tripping over himself like he doesn't know what he's doing. It kind of did. But yeah, and then we have gosh dang it, I had her name.
You're talking about the hippo?
Oh, what's her name?
Her name
it like
is Terawet.
Terawet. Now that is not, correct me if I'm wrong, the god who Khonshu was talking with. Or am I wrong?
No, that's what was her name? Like Horath or something?
Yeah, it was something different.
No, this is the Egyptian goddess of childbirth.
Childbirth. Okay, got it. Because the other one was like something in music, if I'm not mistaken. But like, yeah. It was all that, and it was just the Egyptian god.
Okay, what? It wasn't Horath. It was Hathor.
Hathor. Okay, but we were right. It was not the same god. We're just like, it just ends there. Where is the show going? We have 2 episodes left, and they haven't even woke Ahmed up yet. What are we doing? Like, I just recently went on a binge of like, I did my yearly rewatch of Gurren, and then I was like, all right, I need to do something to break it up. So I watched Elfen Lied, and then I watched that sting off. I rewatched Kill la Kill. Still great. Mako Mankanshok might be the best supporting character in media, period. But it's like the actual villain of that series don't come in until like 5 episodes before the show's done, and it has 19 episodes.
Oh wow.
So I'm just like, that's reminding me the same thing. I'm like, what are we doing?
My guess is that we're not going to see Amit until either the end of 5 or the start of 6.
Man, I hope it's partway through 5, because unless they are ready to go balls to the wall, or if there's going to be some stupid crap that happens in 6, I can't even tell you what this show's going to end with. I couldn't even give you a remote guess. Because they're not going to show Moon Knight like fist fighting Amit.
Nope. That would be too much.
Yeah, and so I'm like, what are we doing? Are we going to have a battle of attrition here? Are we going to get it locked away? Are we going to have them have a battle of ideals? Is the Ennead going to be useful? No, but I have no idea. None whatsoever. I have no freaking
all I know right now is I'm just loving the back and forth between Haro and Mark/Steven.
Yeah, exactly. That was really good, and I'm glad that he actually got a decent talk with Layla too. Haru actually getting to talk with people has been great, which there's not been a lot of MCU villains that are actually just, if you shot them, they die. Like kind of things. Like he's very lucky he's been in situations he's been in, because if another person was there, he'd be dead. It's like one of those situations where you're like, you'll see in comics where Daredevil and Punisher are arguing with each other on how they deal with people. He's like, you ever wonder why you have more troubles than I do? Because I deal with my problems. But yeah, it's just like getting to get like an actual philosophical talk from a villain once, or it's just like, some of y'all people just need to hear me out. I don't think I'm wrong here. And I have said this more times on this channel, on RPC, and in my life than I have ever said. And everyone follow with me at the same time. The villain is best when they don't think they're wrong.
Exactly. By the way, something that Dan Murrow brought up in his review is he would just love to see Harrow and Kingpin just in a room together.
Oh god. Yeah.
Just imagine the two of them just talking about like about their goals and their convictions, and just talking in very raspy voices.
Harrow, Kingpin, and Killmonger. That'd be a very interesting three-way conversation I'd like to see.
Oh wow, that would be.
Which one?
That would be
which
something.
one of them would be the first one to go, no, dude, that's messed up?
Probably Kingpin.
Yeah, like Kingpin would, and I guarantee you it would be Killmonger, and then both of them would turn to him and go, you did what? I mean, your reasoning was well, but excuse me? I don't think you fully understand what you're talking about. Like, we get you. You have a good point, but what? Like, I agree. Like, Harrow would be like, I agree with the person that I'm enemies with, but I just don't think they work fast enough. And then Kingpin's just, don't mess with Vanessa. But, yeah. And shockingly still, I didn't think we were going to get in this episode. This thing is still very its own thing.
Yeah.
We're 2 episodes from the end, and this still very much exists in its own little playground over here. So I'm a fan of that.
Same. There's some rumor going around that Steve Rogers might be in the next episode.
Okay, that's another thing we need to talk about. Everyone, I do not, on my soul, want to see a single person use Twitter if the word variant is going to be in your tweet. Shut up. Because now it's Steve Rogers is going to be a multiverse version of Peggy Carter or Agent Carter. Because why? Because I think so. And also, again, where people just don't look at things, it's like, you guys know, I've cracked the secret. Moon Knight doesn't have multiple personalities, even though he's been a comic book character for probably like 50 years, and it's shown that he has multiple personalities. Y'all don't know the character because remember, guys, he's just Batman in Marvel. What's really happening is there's 5 different multiverse versions of Moon Knight, and they're all converging in this one person. And I just think it'd be really cool because I can't stand that what's actually happening in the show is the character. Shut up! Just because a multiverse exists does not mean every single time something's weird, there needs to be a variant of a character. Shut up! Please! Every time. It doesn't matter. Now it's just like, you want to know the one thing we haven't heard since the multiverse has been a thing, Mike? It starts with an M. What was the thing that was going to happen in every damn show until the multiverse was a thing.
Mephisto.
Exactly. You want to know why that's out the door now? Because they have another stupid linchpin they can throw at everything.
And MCU fans can be varying levels of ridiculous.
It's always, oh, guys, you don't understand. Trust me. There was this comicbook.com article that Grace Randolph shared, and I really think it's got some validity. Oh, let me guess. Your other sources, we got this covered. Shut your mouth.
And our third source is, dude, trust me.
You just trust me. I know a guy. He works at, trust me. No, it's what it basically comes down to. No, trust me. My uncle works at Nintendo. No, you need to shut up. It is all fine and good to have theories, but people turn into lynch mobs where it's like, no, you're a moron. Because trust me, I know what I'm talking about. I'm like, okay, give me proof. There's 2 versions of him. Yeah, but he's had multiple personalities. Yeah, but shut up. You want to know who you sound like right now? Tyrese Gibson.
And nobody wants to sound like him.
And no one wants to sound like Tyrese Gibson's Twitter feed. As an actor, I have no problems with the dude. It's going to sound like I hate him. I don't. I actually love him as an actor. He's got great comedic timing. But that dude is a master at putting his shoe in his own mouth up to his pelvis. And that's what everyone's turning into now. And like you just said, Mike, tell me a single thing in this show that would lead for Steve Rogers becoming a variant of Captain Carter and showing up. Tell me a reason at all.
Well, you see,
Captain Carter would even show up in the show.
Well, you see, his name is Steven.
That's it. We cracked the code. Not once, other than on his deployment papers, do they ever call him Steven Rogers, because they always say Steve, but a version of his name is Steven. So we got it. And oh boy, if the moon is full, it's a circle, and it also looks like a shield. And there's stars. There's a star on the shield. And there was a woman on screen, so it could be a version of Peggy Carter. Ah! I hate that. It's times like today that I hate the internet exists.
Speculation is like alcohol. Use it responsibly.
Yes. And normally they say this is like opinions, but fan theories are like assholes. Everyone has them, and most of them stink. Sorry to tell you, a lot of them do. I am all a guy that loves a good couple of fan theories. You want to watch our my Ruby reviews that I do with the admins for my Ruby group? We spout them out all the time. We literally dedicate an entire chunk of the show to it. But you know what we do? Base it on facts that were in the previous episodes.
Yep.
It just blows my mind.
And look, fan theories can be a whole lot of fun. I'm sure whenever we get around to doing the Owl House, there will be plenty of theories to share.
Oh, there will be. And I plan on fully doing the Owl House with you because I know how much you love the show. I just am like, guys, if we're going to come up with cool fan theories, don't just regurgitate a person who was like, oh, that's right, that was in the episode. It wasn't, but I'm sure that person noticed it. It's like one of those things where it's like, if you freeze frame it and you draw a line from here to here, you will see the outline of blah blah blah. It's like the only time one of those things has ever been true is if any of you look at the Arcane. What was that thing considered? There's a poster that was advertising Arcane where Vi is hugging Powder's head and it spells Jinx in her hair. And the only reason I know that one's true because the creators of the show confirmed it.
That's the only way you can know that something's true.
Exactly. Like recently, Matt Reeves did it with Batman. There's a shot where where they show the outside of the Iceberg Lounge, and they show for a split second there's a light on in a random apartment that actually shows Paul Dano's Riddler just looking at the Iceberg Lounge, hoping that someone walks out. It's there for 2 seconds, and then he literally just went, "Yeah, that's that. Good job." My favorite is when they come out of the thing, they're like, "No." They're like, "I've got confirmation. I've talked with people." Or my favorite shutdown ever. We'll cut it down after this because, like I said, there wasn't a lot to talk about. But my favorite one is Al Mayimbe put on his Twitter when is it Guardians of the Galaxy 1? I want to say it's Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
One, I think it was one of those. Probably 2.
It was probably 2. But he put some post on his Twitter where he's like, and it was about some character. I can't remember what the character's name was, but it was a character that we found out was going to be cast in the show. And then he's like, "Would y'all like to know who blank is in the show? Because I know, stay tuned. I'll give you the scoop." James Gunn comments underneath its post and he goes, "That's awesome. Could you tell me? Because we haven't even started casting for this yet." And then ... tweet can no longer be seen.
Oh, that's classic.
Man, remember when Latino Review was a thing?
Oh God, I haven't heard that name in forever.
Because I'm pretty sure he eventually started a new site, and I only know that because of that time he was on Movie Talk because John Campea is friends with him. But anyway, yeah. But anyway, like I said, I honestly hope that in this next episode we can get a like back and forth type of thing. Because I honestly don't know how Harrow is in here, or if this is like some weird purgatory that he has to get himself out of to wake up. Because they still need to rescue Khonshu.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get like a clear understanding of where. I mean, we know this is inside their mind, but like how they got here as opposed to just dying.
Yeah, like is this a weird purgatory that he's waiting to go? Is he like under some, because like he fell into a watering hole and we don't know if he like just is laying there or if he actually kept falling. Like if Harrow is sitting over him trying to extract information, but like I kind of want to, if it's not Harrow sitting over him, I kind of want he's trying to escape here while Harrow is racing to wake up Amit type of thing. Like they both run in tandem and cut back and forth.
That'd be pretty cool.
It would be cool. Every single episode we've done of this, I've legitimately not known what the next episode was going to be.
Something I do want to end on, when we see Mark and Steven reunited, I think one thing that's really cool is to differentiate the two. Oscar Isaac has like 2 different hairstyles, and
they're wearing black and gray.
Yep,
they do just enough to where they're like, "Oh, got it. Yep, we're separating. It's the 2. It's like one's clean cut and one's scraggly." And they did that with Ethan Hawke too, where he's got a different hairstyle and a mustache.
Yep.
Now in here. But yeah. It's gonna be interesting to see how they handle exactly whatever this is and how that other god who, if she wasn't at the Ennead or if she's another one that's imprisoned, it's gonna be really weird to see how they do this. Because unless they mentioned her in another episode, I don't remember them mentioning Khonshu. Yeah, Tara, like Khonshu being friends with any other gods outside of Hathor.
Yeah, I don't remember hearing her name anywhere else, but and I need to find out who voices the character too, because the The voice when we actually meet her sounded so familiar.
That is true. Oh, excuse me. There was also, while you're looking that up, I'm trying to think. Did you see? Hold on, I gotta see if I'll have to look up Josh's Twitter. That they were talking about Josh Lozano. Josh, come on, Joshua Lozano. He liked a tweet recently that I saw where or I want to say it was Josh Lozano that liked it. Did you like that Keith David tweet that came out today?
I might have.
It was about him voicing somebody, and I can't remember who it was. Where they were gonna, if they asked him to voice somebody, but I can't remember exactly who it was. Hold on, Keith David. I can't remember if it was a Marvel character or not. Ah, that's what it was. Yeah, where someone tweeted at him. He's like, "Hey, I am Keith David. If Marvel wanted to cast Beta Ray Bill in the MCU as a CGI character, would you consider voicing him if asked?" And he said, "In a New York Minute."
Nice.
Keith David as Beta Ray Bill might be the definition of perfect casting, because he's very good at.
Okay, I found the actress.
Who is it?
Antonia Salib.
I got nothing.
I thought she sounded familiar, but I guess she's a relative unknown.
She's just got one of those voices.
Yeah.
And yeah. I really got nothing else to add because I legit don't know how this show is episode by episode. I don't know what's happening. I could give outside of like Loki and like WandaVision, I could kind of tell you what was going to happen in the next episode. I can't with this.
And that's honestly what I love about the show.
Mm-hmm.
So far, episodes 2 and 4 have been my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
I liked episode 1 a lot. It got me interested in like the premise. 3 was fuck the Ennead.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, 2 and 4 are like honestly some of the best stuff we've seen in the MCU.
Yes. And it's a show I would like another season of. And one last rant before we go. Everyone that is saying these Marvel Netflix shows aren't doing good because they aren't being announced for a second season, they've been very open that they aren't doing these as full series shoots every time. Literally only one of them is getting a second season. Literally one. And it's the only one that makes sense for a second season. Mm-hmm. And this trend started with Hawkeye, where they're like, oh, did bad. He's not going to, like, what else are they doing? You're going to get Young Avengers, most likely with Kate. And this, like I said, is in his own personal little playground. Just because you're not getting a second season doesn't matter. I repeat, they get Avengers Endgame every month.
Yeah, exactly.
This could have made negative sense and they were still turning a profit.
You're going to see Moon Knight and probably Khonshu in other places in the MCU.
And even if they don't, who cares? I'm happy they could just go Moon Knight, Kate Bishop. Like, just be happy we're getting this stuff.
We're getting She-Hulk, and that's that's something I never thought the MCU would even go near.
No, exactly. I don't know. People are never happy. They were always was like, man, I just wish they'd give us stuff we wanted. I wish they'd give me more stuff of what we wanted. I'm like, y'all can just never be satisfied that we live in an entertainment explosion. Anyway, all right. We're going to get the heck on out of here. Mike, where can I find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at Captain K42. You can check out my quick thoughts on letterbox.com/Coach K42. And you can find me in all the various Facebook groups just at my name. You can check out Renegade Pop Culture on Facebook and Twitter at Ren Pop Culture. You can also find us on Podchaser and the Banana Meter. Listen to all of our podcasts on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc. And last but not least, everything can be found at renegadepopculture.com. Need an escape? So do we.
Absolutely. And you can find me everywhere at Organoid Zero. And until next time, we will see you later. Bye.
Peace.